The NHL, we're going to go into the NHL now. We have one big story, which is about the Winter Olympics in 2018 in Pyeongchang, South Korea. The NHL deciding not to participate in the 2018 Winter Olympics has caused a stir among players, and this is just the beginning. Washington Capitals' Alex Ovechkin said he is playing for Russia no matter what, despite the NHL's decision to not send its players, or at least not allow to send its players. And he also said the Capitals are on board with the decision. Russians and Caps teammate Evgeny Kuznetsov said the same thing about going and playing for Russia. The NHL's future to enter the Olympics could convince other players in the NHL to join the KHL, which is the Continental Hockey League, most notably known for being in Russia, which suffers from its stars joining the NHL. Prominent NHL agent Alan Walsh said the NHL's decision could create a, quote, poisonous atmosphere, unquote, and the number of players who go to the Olympics without consent could be significant. One of the things that I read about the KHL was that the KHL, no matter what, they always suspend their season because I think it typically happens at the same time. And if it does, they do allow their players to go. It's almost like a like if you're Russian and you're a good Russian hockey player, it's like a rite of passage.
Right.
It's probably a law that in Russia, you don't play hockey, the hockey plays you. So I can't imagine Russia ever not going to the Olympics for something like this for the money, for the money's sake. And what I have heard was that, or what I've read, is that players from the NHL who are maybe on the cusp of like a 1 year or at the end of their contract year, they might go to the KHL for the 1 year that the Olympics happen, because they know for a fact that they play for their country. And I've never seen a sport that has so much loyalty from its professional athletes. Basketball, you're able to be loyal because it's not during the season.
Right.
Baseball, we know for a fact that the reason why we have the WBC, the World Baseball Classic, is because they don't allow their players. And I don't really know if I haven't heard of baseball players coming out, being outspoken about definitely playing.
Right.
And the NFL, obviously, that's not even a thing, an Olympic sport. It's funny when the NFL, they say world champions. It's like, well, who else in the world is playing this game? At least on a hyper competitive level that we see here in America. So I'm really interested in seeing what happens next season, because typically, like I said, they shut down the season for a whole month, extend it into May then.
Right.
And then the month of May is like your big tournament time for the playoffs. And it kind of comes at an untimely part of the season because you're going right into the playoffs. It happens in April, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
So it's 3.5 weeks right in the middle of the season or towards the end of the season. I guess you would probably try to plan that around the All-Star break, but then your All-Stars are going. So it is rough. I can't deny that it's not rough for the NHL owners, and especially All-Star weekend, because then where else would you put it?
Right.
And you can't. I guess the Olympics is All-Star weekend. But I'd really hate to see kids like Connor McDavid and like the real young guys in the NHL not get this opportunity to play. Because in baseball, although it's against the other countries, it's not as competitive as the 30 teams in the MLB.
Right.
In basketball, it's not as competitive as it is in the NBA, in the actual 30 teams position. In hockey, though, just because of the way the countries are divided and where they all come from, most of these players are coming from Russia, Canada, Czech Republic, Slovenia. And so you really are playing the best of the best. Because not everyone who's the best plays in the NHL, which is not quite the case for a sport like the NBA.
Right.
Where everyone does come to the NBA. You don't even have to be the best. A guy like Kristaps Porzingis, he's not going to go play in the Lithuania Professional League if he doesn't have to.
Right.
But it's not that way with hockey. There's a much more nationalist view about it. So, like I said, I'm interested, not excited, because it's going to be hell.
Yeah, I wonder what. Oh, geez, I just lost my train of thought.
You wonder about players? What are you wondering about?
Oh, I wonder what the money is like in other leagues as far as hockey goes. Like if players get paid a lot more in maybe Canada or Russia. I don't really know too much about those
Well, I know there's like the WHL and there's the OHL, which is the Ontario Hockey League, and I think they see like minor league money, like AHL money.
Right.
So like still making six figures, but like Anthony Stolarz, was a goalie for the Phantoms. I think his contract was like 3 years, $1 million.
Right.
So you know what I mean. So that is the type of money that you're talking about. But in Russia, dude, I don't know anything about.
Yeah,
that.
I'm not quite sure what the money is like.
I don't know anything about that country other than that their vodka is world class.